What's up, everybody? It's Big Rock TV.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Don Josh coming to you for the first time with Big Rap TV over here.
Yep, and we are bringing back the heel turn. We haven't done a heel turn in years. It's been at least 3 years since I've done a true episode of the heel turn with a co-host. It's usually been me just rambling and running my mouth, but now it's the real version of this, and I finally have somebody to talk to. So,
hey man, excited. Thanks for having me on, man.
Thank you for coming.
Oh man, it was an honor. I was super excited when you asked me to do this, honestly.
I think we're gonna do it this way, and it's almost like we're gonna debate it, and we're gonna share our opinions and tell you all what we think on the events of wrestling. And now there's AEW, so there's even more to talk about now.
Even more, so much wrestling, so much to cover, almost too much. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan, but it's overwhelming at the same time, especially if you get a daytime job.
Yeah. So where do we begin? Where do we begin this week?
So I think knowing what day it is. So today is October 10th. We're coming off the back of possibly the worst ending to a pay-per-view, definitely in the modern era, possibly ever, with that abysmal, just I don't know what even to call it, like booking decision for Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Man, and honestly, that's been eating at me for like the past couple days. I stay watching other people. I want to see what other people say about it, react to it, because I want everyone to be as mad as I am right now about that ending.
Exactly. I have not gone back to watch it yet because I read about it and I was pissed off. All right, let me segue first, and I'll come back to that.
Yeah.
I've already been pissed off with WWE because of this.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because of this.
Exactly. Just the weekend started off terribly for oh man, it's not just you, man. I'm a huge Kofi Kingston fan. They did the right thing. They struck when the iron was hot at first to put that belt on him.
Yep.
Even though I don't know about you, I was watching WrestleMania. I was like, there's no way they're gonna do it. There's no way they're gonna do it. There's no way they're gonna do it. It's been a great run. And then when it did happen, it was arguably the biggest moment of the night. Like I know Becky and them main event, historical, revolutionary, but Kofi's winning the title was probably the biggest feel-good moment, definitely of the year.
Easily the biggest moment of the night. What pissed me off about Saturday, Saturday for us.
Saturday for us, but
for those who are watching, we are overseas. Not gonna say our exact location, but we are overseas, and we don't get to watch the events that's happening as you all get to watch them. It's usually the next day for us. Or if we are watching it at the same time, it's really early in the morning. It's like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yep.
So for Saturday for us, I actually stayed up to watch SmackDown.
Yeah, you told me about that.
And I get it. 6-month run, right? I get it. Maybe it's time for your run to end. People usually don't even get the 6 months. So I understand it might have been time for him to lose.
Yeah, absolutely.
My issues are, why did it need to be against Brock to lose it? Why couldn't Randy beat him? Why couldn't, Roman enter the picture somehow?
So, yeah.
Why anybody that's full time that's going to be there and has earned their way to that spot, why can't it be them to beat him? That's issue number 1. And then issue number 2 for me was, why did it have to be 7 seconds?
Just the quickest squash match. I have to go back and look, but I think they were saying this is one of the, if not the fastest WWE title changes match in history. That's absolutely ridiculous. Like, the amount that they built this man up to be such a strong, just overcoming everything babyface. And he did it without any shenanigans. He had the New Day with him, could have done any kind of backdoor cheating way to be, at least he's keeping his title. No, they booked him as strong as you can book a babyface champion.
Yep.
You couldn't imagine, when he finally does lose, it's going to be a huge deal. Somebody might have to cheat to do it, but not like this. No, not like this.
Run, jump, catch, F5, end.
That was it. You could see just the energy leave the stadium. The gasp of And you can't even be like, we're mad about it, but can you even be like surprised? Are you even surprised at this point? Like now that we've gone a week, thinking it over, is it really that surprising? Like in the back of my head, I was worried that it was going to be a squash match.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not as quickly, maybe like John Cena SummerSlam squash match.
Yeah.
But
the only other squash match for a title that I can think of is Daniel Bryan. When it was
the 18 seconds against Sheamus.
Run, bro kick.
Yep.
But I feel like that match lasted longer than.
It lasted longer because he took the time to call AJ Lee up onto the apron.
That's right.
Give her a little good luck kiss, turn around and wham. That's the only reason that it lasted as long as it did.
Yeah.
And good for him for catching those other 15 seconds where he could.
Exactly.
But it was right up there. This one is probably worse than when they jobbed out KO to Goldberg too.
Yeah.
And you knew that was just like this one. I can't see Brock holding this for more than maybe till the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
I can't see he might hold it past Survivor Series, but they're not doing title matches on Survivor Series anymore. And you can imagine this with the draft coming up, it's gonna be the same thing. This whole Raw versus SmackDown thing. Even though for the entirety of this past year, we've always been working together with this stupid wild card rule.
Yep.
Now they're gonna expect me to just believe like, oh yeah, okay, well, we're gonna split it. You guys automatically hate each other now.
Yep.
Okay, because like half of y'all were on teams earlier before. It doesn't make any sense, but that's where they're going to be going with it. So I can see Brock holding it to the Royal Rumble. Maybe past that, but do we need? I don't think I can do another absentee champion.
Not at all. For them, I get Brock is a big star. They're trying to take this now to a new level of making it seem like it's more realistic. And Brock is the name you're gonna see that on ESPN. People recognize Brock Lesnar. But did Brock need to win the title to go with his feud against, Cain Velasquez? Yeah. Like, did Brock need the belt for that match? Because I don't see them, in the event that Cain beats Brock, are they going to put...
You see them? Yeah, I don't see any... Are they going to give Cain Velasquez the belt? Are they going to put the strap on him in his first match?
First match.
Are you kidding? Now, I heard that he's been doing some pretty impressive things down in AAA down in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I haven't seen the videos, I haven't seen anything of it, but I've heard that he's been doing some pretty impressive things for a guy his size.
Yeah.
So, but for a guy his size wrestling luchadors down in AAA, can he do that same style against Brock Lesnar?
And will they even allow it?
Will they allow it? Yeah, exactly. Maybe because the press conference is being held either today or yesterday, depending on when this video goes out, when you're watching it, but they're holding a press conference before SmackDown or early this week, leading up to SmackDown for what is presumably announcing the two matches for Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
The Brock Lesnar versus Cain Velasquez is probably going to be announced, as well as Braun Strowman versus Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Which, take your pick. Take your pick with both of those. I'm not a huge MMA fan.
Mm-hmm.
I understand, like you said, the crossover appeal. I'm all about getting more eyes on the product, especially now, because it's getting a lot easier, I think, to be a wrestling fan, because now you can we're definitely moving away. We're still in the PG area, but we're definitely pushing away from that that stigma of this is all
for kids
aimed at the children. So, but I don't know, man. I can't really see them putting it on Cain Velasquez at all.
I think because you brought up Braun and Tyson Fury, why do they keep screwing over Braun? Like, you trust him enough to put him in a feud with Tyson Fury, which is going to bring in money.
Mm-hmm.
You trusted him enough to headline basically the first Saudi event when they had the tournament.
Greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah, he won the big belt, and that belt that lasted for like a week.
Exactly.
And they got rid of it. Like, how come Braun can't get the rocket, as Booker T would call it, get the rocket put on his
strap it to his back,
and
shucky ducky.
Yeah. Why can't they strap the rocket to Braun's back? Why do we keep putting him in these positions? I get he's a big man, and a lot of times the giants don't usually get the the strap for that long.
Mm-hmm.
And it runs, I can't even think of how many times the Big Show ever had this strap. If he did, it was like real quick.
It was real quick. In the early 90s, I think, or no, not early, late 90s, I'm sorry, when he first came in, when he like first debuted with the WWF, I think is when they first put it on him.
Mhm.
After that, no, he was regulated to the big card belts. I think he had the World Heavyweight Championship. I have to go back. The big gold belt.
Did he beat Mark Henry? He beat Mark. No, Daniel Bryan beat Mark. No.
No.
He beat Mark Henry, didn't
It was in that. It was that match. It was Big Show and Mark Henry, and then Daniel Bryan came down because it was a no contest or
Yeah.
whatever. He came in, cashed in, and I think made it a triple threat. Pinned the Big Show.
he? Yeah.
And that's what set up him and the Big Show's feud for the next like month or so.
Yeah.
So that was, I don't want to say that was as close as he ever got to the championship, but that's the last I can remember him in the title picture as a legitimate contender. And it was for the gold belt, which, you know, still probably the better of the two belts, the more historical, especially of the, you know, what we have currently.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was still seen as the secondary belt.
Yeah.
You know, at that time.
Which is now the universal title is
I
now.
don't even want to talk about that thing. That's
That's
so nasty. I don't even think they got they got back orders of those things. They cannot sell off WWE.com. There's no way anybody's buying that nasty red belt. Ain't no way.
this is the history, which is why I'm glad that Kofi, when he won the title, he won this
He won
belt
this title.
because this is the WWE title. He didn't win the Universal title that has no history. That's not.
No.
They should bring the big gold belt. We've segued off. I
Way
can't
off.
even remember what the original.
Way off. That's all good. Yeah.
But Kofi, I'm glad Kofi won this one. Hell, even Jinder Mahal has this on his resume and held it for what, 6
months.
Yeah, 5-6
Yeah.
months. So I'm glad that he got this one. I just hate how it ended, and I think they could have let him kick out of at least one F5. Make him look stronger.
That would have been nice, but like I said,
He didn't
Boy,
even get suplexed.
no, he didn't.
Like
No.
Brock usually suplexes the shit out of you for like 5-6 times.
Yeah.
And then the F5. He runs straight in and gets the. Alright, anyway.
The point of all that, he already bad, and now leading up into the pay-per-view for the weekend, it was just more of the same. I don't know what why the WWE, why Vince McMahon is so set on pissing off his fans. I don't understand that. They're very easy, it's a very simple way that I know they booked themselves into a corner here. It shouldn't have been The Fiend versus Seth Rollins anyway. That should never have been this early on in The Fiend's run. He's only had one match.
Yeah.
His second match, you're going to throw him into Hell in a Cell?
Yeah.
That's fine. If you needed to do that, that's fine. You didn't need to put the belt in there. You didn't need to include the belt. But since you did, there was only one logical way for this to end, and that was with The Fiend walking out after damn near murdering Seth Rollins, which they ended up kind of doing at the
Yeah.
end if you ended up actually seeing some of the clips from it.
Yep.
That was the only way that they were going to get out of this, and the fans weren't going to have any of it, anything else that night. And it imploded on itself. It was like I said, possibly the worst ending to a pay-per-view. And they've killed Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
That's it. You with that sledgehammer that got you DQ'd or no contest.
Why is there even a DQ in it's a cell?
It's the cell, man. They came out afterwards, said it was considered a no contest. So it wasn't a DQ. We didn't DQ. We called it a no contest. Okay, my ass. That's what it is. That kid, that for me has already. I mean, Hell in a Cell was already watered down enough as it was, and it sucks because the match before, the Becky and Sasha match, was phenomenal.
Yeah.
That was such a great way. That was a feud that let's throw it in the cell. That made sense, and that's all we needed for the night.
Yep.
And then you went from having such a beautiful, great exhibition like that to you killed Hell in a Cell in the same night.
Yep.
And possibly both The Fiend and Seth Rollins, any momentum they had, definitely. Because if you saw the next night on Raw, they know they messed up.
Yeah.
They absolutely know they screwed it up. That's why there was no mention of it except for one clip, 2 hours and 2/3 into the show. They're like, oh, by the way, yes, we did have a Universal Championship match up there.
But don't worry about that.
Oh yeah, that's
We messed up.
Exactly. And that's what the commentators are like, oh, I can't believe that's what happened. What happened? they didn't want to say what happened.
Mhm.
They just brushed it to the side like it's never happened. And now, what are they supposed to do? How is the Fiend supposed to come back from that?
You've been building this character up all year, and he's arguably been the best thing that's been happening to me outside of Kofi Mania, and I'm biased. I'm clearly biased.
Yeah, absolutely.
But outside of this, for me, Bray has been the best thing happening. Even after initially with the Firefly Funhouse happening, I'm like, what the hell is this?
Mhm.
Are they making some kind of kids show?
Yeah.
What's going on?
So Mr. Rogers
Exactly.
looking, yeah.
He's smiling, and I'm like, this is nuts. But then once you get into it, it's like, he's demented.
Yeah.
Something is wrong.
This is great.
This
is great.
This is great.
Can't
Like,
wait for the Firefly.
this is amazing. And then whenever you hear the music come on, it's like, oh man.
Oh, the first time they played his music, I about fell out my seat, man. I was like, how are they gonna introduce this dude? Like, it's gonna be like some screams, the Firefly Funhouse, they're gonna give him a weird theme. You gonna walk down to some kids theme.
Yeah.
His new theme is a fucking banger, dude.
Yeah. And then the light with it, oh my God. It's like, you did so much right
You did so much right.
to mess it up. Now Bray has probably been one of the most screwed over talents as far as what he can do, the character that he should be being pushed like The Undertaker.
He should be, yes.
Now that Taker's a little older and kind of fading out, Kane, those guys that were this character for so many years. Bray is that. And now, instead of pushing Bray as this this powerful being, has all these lighting and all this extra effects that he should have like Taker.
Yeah.
You keep pushing them down. There's like no. I don't understand what they're doing with Bray.
The sky was the limit. Just 3-4 short days ago, the sky was the limit.
Yeah.
And now it really is like, what do we do now? You can't bring Seth Rollins back I don't want to say anytime soon. Keep him off TV for the next 2 weeks. Because if he comes back, he's gonna get booed out of the building.
Yeah.
And it's not his fault. I feel bad for him because it's not his fault. He just did what he was told to do. But there's like no say. He's gonna be the focal point for everyone's anger. And I love Seth Rollins. I'm a huge Seth Rollins fan, but even I found myself like at the end of that match just kind of like I had nowhere else to turn but to Vince McMahon, obviously.
Yep.
But then also like to Seth Rollins and sort of Bray Wyatt too. Like, you guys let that happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know there's not as much say as there was in the Attitude Era, or even maybe in the Ruthless Aggression Era. But you guys had to know this was not going to go over well.
Yeah.
And it was evidenced by the AEW chants going on as soon as that bell rang.
I forgot where I was going with that because I was wanting to get into to the Fiend. That's where I was going with Seth. I think they were doing it right initially with the Fiend and Seth because you remember what was it? Not last week on Raw or the week before the Braun and Seth match and the Fiend had fears and Seth's like scared and he's kind of cowering and screaming,
crying in the corner. Yeah.
I'm like I kind of was like, oh shit, Seth is kind of freaking out. And he's never afraid of Brock. He's never afraid of Braun. But you get the Fiend in your face. He's like,
screaming
like, this is what needs to happen. And then Fiend needs to come and just destroy him. And then, almost have Seth chase him. Like, okay, I got to overcome this fear of this guy. Maybe later on get my belt back or something. Mm-hmm. But that would have set up a whole another angle that you could run with if you would have played off of the fear that he had. You did it right. You did it right with the Fiend character, and then you did it right with him being afraid. And then all of a sudden I'm gonna let him beat the hell out of this guy that's been invincible. No, that's too quick. Just a week ago, he was scared.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that.
He found all his courage inside the cell when he had a Triple H's sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Ironically, yeah.
I don't like the way they did that. I feel like Raw used to be the A show, and it hasn't been the A show in quite some time. I feel like they're killing it for some reason. I get that you do have to adjust because, excuse me, since SmackDown is now going to be the show that's in the spotlight with the big Fox deal, you do need to change the priority a little bit and make SmackDown the lead show, but not at the expense of making Raw kind of the crap. In the days where Raw was the top show, SmackDown was still decent. It was still like, and sometimes it might have even been better to watch.
I think it was a better show for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
You know, up until Shane McMahon started doing all this thing.
Thank goodness KO. That was. Let me go back to SmackDown. Everything leading up until the main event on SmackDown on Fox was great. I loved every minute of SmackDown up until the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I just was like, the 4 Horsewomen's tag match, amazing.
Yeah.
Rock kicking off the show, talking trash with Baron Corbin, amazing. KO versus Shane, amazing. Like, this is great. Even the Roman and
versus Harper?
Or Rowan.
It was Hulk versus Rowan, okay, yeah.
The lumberjack match.
Yeah.
I even thought that was good. I was like, lumberjack matches can get a little
goofy, a little bit.
And they played it well. I thought they did great in that match. It wasn't the best match of the night, but I still thought it was a really good match. It just, they fumbled at the end, and I think that the Rey Mysterio angle, I saw it coming though.
You did. You mentioned that to me. I said, there's no way that you're going to have Rey Mysterio come in. Well, you mentioned you thought he was going to cost Brock tonight.
I thought he would cost him.
Yeah. I was like, there's no way they're going to set up Mysterio versus Brock. That's not a real. In 2019, maybe in like 2004, 2005, maybe. Yeah. But in 2019, there's no way. But I didn't know they was going to do it like this.
I thought that my expectation was, okay, they're gonna have Kofi and Brock, right? And as Kofi's about to lose, Ray comes, the music hits.
Music hits something.
And he gets distracted or something, or Ray comes out and interferes, and then that gets rid of the Kofi and Brock match. Kofi keeps the title. Kofi loses the title to somebody else. Like, I'm thinking in my head, Roman is getting in here at some point.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be the face of the company. He's got to get in the title picture at some point. But they're keeping him away. That's a whole nother topic for another day. I'm not sure what's going on with Roman. But my thought was that Roman would get in the title picture. And then I had read about Cain Velasquez coming. So maybe Ray interferes to avenge his son getting beat and gets beat more.
Yeah.
And then I got to go get some help. And then everything happens as it did.
Everything would have worked out, the way it did.
And then, Kofi loses. No big deal. I get him losing. I get it.
Yeah.
But I think they screwed that part up. And I should be a writer.
That's what sucks is we all, I'm pretty sure anybody watching this right now would probably just be like, I can write better than what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
That's just in my mind. Like, I'm like, look, it's this easy. First of all, just, push who the fans want to be pushed. It's not that hard. If you can hear the fan reaction, just go off the organic fan reaction. It's like, yes, this is who we want to see. We didn't want to see Roman when they were pushing him to no end. That's just it. Like, and I'm a huge Roman Reigns fan now, but at the time I did not want to see that man on my TV.
Yeah.
It just shows like, hey, take him away for a little bit, still build him up strong. You can bring him back, and I'm ready for him to be champion because they built him. They kept him away from the picture. They didn't shove it in our face like they did, and just like they did right now with the Fiend, they were building up as the most organic thing they had going on. Or actually, probably the most organic thing they have going on right now would probably be Chad Gable.
Yeah.
And they're trying to screw that up too by calling him Shorty.
Yep. Just like they did with Ali.
Just like they did with Ali,
Yeah, I get it. And that led to Kofi Mania. I get Ali was coming up, and that was arguably his spot, and then he got injured. I understand that. But he came back from that injury around the time?
Because he was ready to go by WrestleMania.
Yeah.
If nothing else, I would have been okay if he was the one to take the belt off him.
Exactly.
They could have came in and could have been like, look, that was my opportunity. You got it. I'm fine that you got it. I was happy for you. But now it's my turn. It's like I'm
Bam, upset victory. He's the champ.
There you go.
I wouldn't have been mad at that.
I wouldn't have either. I mean, it's kind of hard. It's babyface versus babyface. I can't really see them turning Ali heel.
Mm-hmm.
They might have gotten away to turning Kofi heel if it's like such a great match. Like I just can't get over this hump. This Ali dude just will not stay down. He's got to call out the New Day. He's got to call Big E or Xavier down to help him out. Wins by some devious means or something like that, and then it sets up a rematch between Ali and Kofi where it's clear babyface versus heel dynamic.
Yep.
Ali ends up winning, takes the belt off him. That would have been perfect.
That would have been perfect.
I would have loved that.
I would have had no issue with that.
Exactly.
The issue isn't, I've said this a few times now, the issue isn't that Kofi lost, it's how he lost and who he lost it to.
Yeah.
Even if you do have to lose it to Brock, give him 5 minutes. Like, let him get 5 minutes.
Yeah, y'all had 5 minutes.
Not 5 seconds.
Exactly.
Kofi, I can't remember a time, I've been watching Kofi his whole career.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember a time where Kofi has ever, to start a match, run and jumped.
That's true.
I've never, why would you do that now? What was the strategy?
You're just going to take him down with one huge leap.
Yeah, that's not even a run and the kick, I can't think of the name.
Drop kick. Oh, Trouble in Paradise. Yeah.
That wasn't even that. It was a run and dive.
Yeah.
It was like, you are 220 pounds.
He was definitely asking someone to catch him.
Yeah.
Brock was there. He was there to catch him. Good for Brock.
Yeah. Thank you, Brock.
Exactly. I was going to land on the ground if you ain't caught me.
That was terrible. I'm gonna keep going back. It's on my mind.
I know.
Fresh.
Yeah, I can tell.
It's like it's pissed off.
Some funny bloopers, man.
So, the draft. The draft is tomorrow, actually.
Tomorrow for us, yeah, tomorrow. I mean,
Well,
we ain't gonna see it till Saturday.
Yeah, we're not gonna see it till Saturday.
But yeah, it's coming up. Friday for us, and it's just gonna be how do you think they're gonna do it? Like, that's the big question. Like, I think I have for most of this is just how are they gonna do this draft?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to see. We've seen it all. We've seen when the brands first split up, and they would just have, who was it at the time? It was Ric Flair and Vince McMahon.
Yep.
Just come out and just announce somebody. They just be in the back and just, I can't believe I got picked, and just go out and like to the crowd and say, hey, what's up? I'm here to go, and stuff like that. Then we've seen the randomizer where it just throws names up on there. Like, you would have a match between a SmackDown and Raw superstar. Whoever won got their pick or whatever.
Yep.
That was okay, I guess. It was kind of cool. Kind of made it feel like there was some kind of random effect to it, but just never really did it for me. And then this past one, the 2016 one, where they actually kind of went back to the Ric Flair and Vince thing. They had 2 podiums up there, both general manager and commissioners, and they would just go off and just start every break that we'd come back from. Okay, well, SmackDown's going to get 2, Raw's going to get 3 because we're a bigger show. We're not going to use any of them.
Mm-mm.
It's only going to be Roman the entire time.
Yeah.
So, good for us.
I like the Flair and Vince way. I like if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna make SmackDown make it seem like, because it's Fox deal, this is an actual sporting event.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be like the NBA, the NFL draft. You need to make this a big deal.
So you have the people in the back with their families around the table and everything. Just
hey,
that'd be dope.
First pick to SmackDown. Zoom to the back, you see somebody sitting around like, man, like I wonder. You see Charlotte, you see Becky, you see Roman,
everybody,
and
it's EC3.
Yeah,
what's up, man?
Where are you been? They should do that.
They should really just troll the entire audience. Somebody that just ain't been around for a while just pop up, or somebody who's been getting squashed the entire time.
Yeah, EC3.
Poor EC3.
They should actually do that.
He actually would fit perfectly with like that whole professional sport draft thing. Mm-hmm. You can see him just like before the show, or like have like one of those clips like during the shows, like earlier in the day, have like EC3 pull up in a limo, come out all dressed to the nine and everything, pull up, square up to like look at the camera, is like, yo, I'm going first overall. Top 10, baby. We're doing this. Yep. Then he'd be like sitting there as the night goes on.
Like Heath Slater.
Like Heath Slater a few years ago. Where y'all going? That's it. It was just okay. I'll see y'all on Monday then.
That was another example of WWE doing something right.
That was
He didn't get drafted the whole night. He sat there the whole night. Then they gave him, oh, you didn't get drafted, so he'll give you this opportunity to get on the show. And then he's getting destroyed.
Yeah.
Jinder rolled him up. Didn't he? Jinder rolled him up for a quick to get his job back. And then finally they give him the I got kids.
The T-shirt.
Yeah.
Put him with Rhino and everything.
Yeah, and then they finally win it. But that was doing it right.
That was really good. Yeah.
This could be the same. I don't even. We're using EC3 here, but it could be the same. The same situation for him. Okay, you don't get drafted
for him. Yeah.
and now you got to earn your way to one of these shows. And then I don't even know. Are we including NXT? Are they going to do?
I
NXT?
don't think they're including NXT. I think I would like that to be the case. Include NXT in it.
Mhm.
And just have like Triple H just there, just like we're a brand too. You know, you got to give us some people too,
Yeah.
which is fine. And if you can take from the NXT roster and bring over, I honestly don't think there's much left for the Velveteen Dream to do down in NXT. And it sucks but that's the thing is like, he's a main roster talent. Like his gimmick is main roster.
He is. I agree.
And you just know that I have more faith in him if he's on Raw just because I have faith in Paul Heyman. And I think this would be, if we're ever going to do it, if it's not right now, it's got to be within the next couple of months when Vince goes off to the XFL and he starts. I swear that I have
Hesitation.
exactly. It's going to be torn. This would be the most opportune time to like sneak in some shit like, oh, it's Velveteen Dream.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. And then like at least have like a 3-month run where we can say, oh, he was great for 3 months.
Yeah.
As opposed to, well, he's got jobbed out to freaking, I don't know. Who would they job him out to? Somebody stupid. Drew
Where is Drew?
McIntyre. That'd be a good first pick. If like it was like he hasn't been around for a while, right?
Does he get hurt?
I think so. I think I was heard somewhere that he had a minor surgery.
Oh,
I don't know if it was on his knee or something like that.
I said that.
It wasn't anything like severe. I think they've just been keeping him off TV because they don't have anything for him right now.
I'm a big Velveteen Dream fan.
I am too.
I have a lot of New Day shirts. I have pretty much every Dream shirt as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big. I don't have the North American title with his plates on the side.
Yeah.
I almost bought it.
Yeah.
But I'm a big Dream fan, and I've been thinking the same thing for years. Like at least for the last maybe 6 months. Like okay, there's not really much. I mean, could you have him chase Adam Cole?
You could, but I don't see him. It sucks. I just don't know if I think he's a main event talent.
Mm-hmm.
I just think he's better chasing. I don't know if once he wins if he ever wins the big belt, like where do we go from there?
And then if you do that, then you're stepping on Ciampa's
Yeah, Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah, you're messing up because he's gonna come back and go against Cole. I think. I feel like that's what they're kind of setting up NXT wise.
Mm-hmm.
Dream is tough for me because I really don't. I don't want to see him get the Oscar treatment.
That's true.
And because Oscar was dominant, she was dominant down at NXT. Nobody was touching her.
Nobody can touch him. No.
And then you get her to the main roster, and then you kind of forget about her. And then you have her winning streak and unnecessarily to
I
Charlotte.
didn't need it in Charlotte.
Like,
No, not at all.
And I don't want to see Sami Zayn's momentum got stopped. The Authors of Pain's momentum got stopped. KO was hot. I think he's the only one that's come up that was like, okay, he came up, challenged Cena, went on the run for a little bit. Then they kind of pushed him back a little. But then he didn't fall down. He went like, okay, you were main event. Then you fell back to like top of the mid card.
Yeah.
And then you went right back to the main event. And he's kind of hung around that area.
Yep.
Everybody else that was like, look at Aleister Black.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Like,
kind of.
you come up, Aleister Black was the shit in
He
NXT.
really was. Yeah.
And then you bring him up to the main roster, you barely see him. Like I don't want Dream to face that same situation. I don't want that to happen to Dream. But I agree with you 100%. It is time for Dream that leaves to NXT.
Yeah, and I think the draft is the perfect chance that he can have to, because I think they are going to make SmackDown more sports oriented. So if they do the whole, and I like the idea of the whole real sports, everybody's at a table with their family. I'd love to see Charlotte and Rick just wooing it up at the corner table or something like that, just doing crazy stuff over there. Since Fox is going to be, like you said, more sports oriented, I think he needs to go to Monday Night Raw.
Oh no!
I just think that's where they're still doing, and they're doing more goofy storylines over there right now with the freaking Rusev and Lana thing. Maria and Mike still don't know who the damn daddy is. So if there was a place to be a showman, I think Velveteen Dream actually would be hilarious. I don't want him to show up like this. If it had been done months ago, if he came up, got his shine for a few months, it would have worked out perfectly. This is just off the dome right now. I was just thinking about that'd be hilarious if Velveteen Dream just ended up being Mike Nelson's baby. That just came to my head right now. That would have been that'd have been it for me. If that gets obviously, I do not want him to debut like that.
Yeah.
But in a perfect world where we get to see it, then erase it from our memories and go right back, I think that'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
If he showed up it was me and Maria. That's how it worked.
I wouldn't be mad at that because Dream is he's an entertainer.
Yeah.
But he's also every one of his matches, maybe one was kind of decent, but his matches are usually a match of the night quality.
Just because he's such a showman.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I would say the rest of the matches on the card are probably better technical bouts, but he's just such a showman. He just captures the crowd and everything like that.
And he's young. He's real young.
Oh yeah.
So the future is bright. I feel like he could get the Randy Orton treatment from back when Randy was coming up in Evolution.
Yeah.
And Dream is about that age right now. So you kind of got to build with the. Don't let Dream become one of these guys that you Apollo Crews.
Yeah.
And just job him out, and then people kind of forget about him. And I don't.
Yeah, I think Apollo is kind of that was just doomed from the start. He got pulled up too early.
Yep.
And he didn't have a gimmick. He was just, I'm a smiling guy who can do a backflip.
Yeah.
That was his thing.
He can't talk.
He
can't talk.
He can't. But I think you give him something. I'm sure you just gave him a mouthpiece. So that's something that I think needs to happen. I think, well, for one, I think 205 Live is starting to go. It's probably going to be done with. They probably won't cut that out. So I think, speaking of mouthpieces, I think Drake Maverick would be a great mouthpiece, not necessarily for Apollo, but for somebody. I think that he's got to go somewhere.
Shinsuke. My bad.
I think he would be a great mouthpiece.
No, I'm saying.
Oh,
we were talking about
guys
people that
pulled up from the NXT.
Yeah, Shinsuke was the man in NXT.
Yeah, he was.
And they killed him off at the same time as Oscar.
Yeah.
WrestleMania, they both won.
They both won their Royal Rumbles.
And get killed at WrestleMania. There's no reason that either of them should have lost.
No.
I get it. AJ was on fire at that time. Yeah. AJ was the man. But
I could have seen Shinsuke losing, but not if they had that classic match. I don't know if you ever seen the Wrestle Kingdom 10 match that they put together.
Yeah.
That was. I go back and watch that. That thing is beautiful. It's a thing of, I don't want to say perfection, but it's probably as close as you can get to. Just it had a little bit of everything. It was hard hitting. It felt important because it was at Wrestle Kingdom and everything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Is that one of your favorite matches of all time?
No, probably not. But I mean, it is for I would
technical?
say, yeah. I guess I could say it is one of my favorite matches of all time, just because for one, I've gone back and rewatched it a couple times, and it's just seeing where they were. What would that have been 2-3 years ago? It's kind of saddening.
I'm gonna give you some old school, and then we can get back to talking about the draft and mouthpieces and things. We'll give you some old school since we're talking about favorite matches of all time. Bret versus Bulldog.
SummerSlam
92.
92.
92.
Yeah, okay.
That's one of, if not my favorite, is probably top 2-3 matches of all time for me.
Yeah.
It like big match environment there in Wembley Stadium. That's Bulldog's home.
Yeah.
He's in front of everybody that he loves.
Yeah.
They're all cheering for him. Brett, I don't think was necessarily a heel.
No, but he had to play the heel because of where he was.
Yep, and they're brothers. I mean, brothers-in-law.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even. You had Warrior versus Macho in that event too. You had some other events happening.
Yeah.
But that match stole the show. It was easily the best match of the night.
Mhm.
It had big match feel. The crowd was into it. The sister, Diana, was in tears at ringside.
Yeah.
That's just one of my. I go back and watch it from time to time, and I'm just like,
Just a quick plug.
I
had to plug for the Bulldog and Bret Hart right there.
And as soon as I said, "Is that one of your favorite matches?" I saw German suplex in my head.
Yeah.
To it. But Shinsuke, I brought him up, and I was saying how they're doing Sammy as his mouthpiece right now.
Yeah.
That would have been something good to throw, like you said, Maverick with Apollo or anybody like
somebody who needs it.
Yeah, somebody like Sammy is great right now on the mouthpiece, and he wasn't doing anything either.
Yeah, exactly.
So you put him with Shinsuke, and that gets kind of brought Shinsuke back up.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with you that it could be somebody like Drake Maverick. They can't do it now with Leo because he's in
NXT.
Yeah. And I know the results, but
hold off on that. Yeah, I'll be watching that later.
We'll discuss that on the next one. But I thought Leo was great as a mouthpiece as well.
He was phenomenal. Yeah.
Because Bobby can't talk either.
I mean, not unless he actually. If you listen to his promo this past week, he actually was talking like a regular human being, and it was smooth, and it was. I was like sitting there, I was like, he gonna mess something up right here. He didn't. He actually sounded believable, like a human being. Mm-hmm. It was great. I was convinced. Didn't want to be convinced. Don't get the storyline.
No.
But he was very convincing, and it made me kind of sick. I was like, oh, Bobby, big Robert, chill out, bro.
What do you think do you think there's going to be any surprises in this draft? Like, are they going to split up any faction? Well, is there any factions?
The OC, yeah, I've heard talks about them splitting up the OC, which, just to spite Anderson and Gallows since they're on their new 5-year contract with their side?
We're going to split you up now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh man, because they had traction for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
They had all the belts, and then now they're getting jobbed out again. I mean, I guess they beat Lucha House Party this past week, but whatever that means. Everybody beats them. Yeah. So I could see them splitting those guys up. I could see them keeping AJ on Raw, even though he feels like a SmackDown superstar.
Yeah.
And sending Gallows and Anderson to SmackDown. I think for surprises, I think we're gonna get some returns. I think we're gonna see Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna be coming back.
It's time for him to come back.
Yeah. And another guy we haven't seen for about a month now, Samoa Joe. He's been off TV for a little bit.
I read that he had an injury.
Okay.
I read it was like his thumb. He broke his thumb or something. Which I'm like, man, Joe is always getting hurt.
Yeah.
Like, how is this man getting hurt so much?
He needs to wrap it up and use a Samoan spike, baby. Bring Samoa Joe using that spike.
That actually worked for him.
It would work for him.
That would work for him.
Oh man, it's X-ray.
You should.
Yeah.
We're doing the wrong job.
Yeah, right. You guys can. Vince, you can have this one.
Yeah.
That's for free.
This is our stuff.
Yeah.
Take our stories and then.
If I see it out there, we won't. I mean, you can have that one for free. I'm gonna expect some kind of payment.
Some royalties for
yeah, just a little bit down the line, but we'll speak later. Hit me up on my. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I think Samoa Joe's gonna come back, and other than that, I can't really see I don't really see them doing now that NXT is its own brand, or not its own brand, it's the third brand, going head to head with AEW. I can't see them poaching anybody. I can see somebody going back.
I read that. This is just my thing. I think that the champions are staying.
on their respect, wherever
Yeah,
the
like-
brand is right now, that's where
Yeah.
they're keeping it. Okay.
Charlotte will probably stay on SmackDown.
Yeah, you can't really have the SmackDown and Raw Women's Champions, which is crazy because Becky Lynch is the biggest women's
Yeah.
star right now.
You gotta take
You
Becky
gotta
on
put
SmackDown.
it, which is why I thought you were going to lose to Sasha this week, and then get drafted to SmackDown.
and take that belt.
Yeah, but now that that's the case, oh man, who do you think is going to be the first overall pick for Raw and SmackDown?
I think SmackDown's getting the first pick. I think
SmackDown.
that's what's going.
That's probably why it's on the show.
Yeah.
That's why they're doing this stupid. We'll do it Friday and then continue it to Monday when they could have just started this past
Yeah,
Monday.
they could just start. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Whew. You gotta take Becky first.
you do have to take Becky.
You
Yeah,
gotta
that's
take
what I'm.
Becky first.
That's
Who's had a bigger year and bigger impact? She was on the cover of ESPN, the magazine. She main evented. She's on the cover of WWE 2K20.
that's yeah.
She's
That's going to be the biggest shock. That's what they're going to bill as the biggest shock of the night. Is oh my God, SmackDown drafted the Raw Women's Champion. That's how they're going to. I think that's how they're going to book it. It's
Yeah.
the biggest. That's going to be the biggest shock of the night. Because I can't see anybody else getting drafted first to SmackDown. And is there even going to be any Raw draftees? Is it just going to be like, well, this is a SmackDown show. We're drafting everybody we want.
no,
And
because they can't. You can't. You have to have some Raw picks.
You would have to.
Because then
Yeah,
all the picks would be SmackDown would be everybody.
Yeah, you're right. that's true. That's
Um,
true.
I can't think. It has to be Becky
The only,
first.
the only other person I think could have even come close would have been Kofi if he had the belt.
Yeah.
Then you could have been like, well, he's the world champion, he's the WWE champion. It's not. The WWE championship can kind of flow between both shows, but the Universal title can't. You
No.
can't bring the red belt over to the blue brand. It just doesn't look right. So
Unless, and this is a stretch. This is not gonna happen. I know this isn't gonna happen. Unless you get rid of that shit
yeah,
and you bring back the big gold. The big gold belt needs to come back,
it does.
and then you can put it on Raw.
Just like the first time around.
Yeah, you can put it on Raw, or you can bring it to SmackDown. It wouldn't matter because that belt's not red.
Yeah,
And then you can be like, okay, this is gonna go to Raw, or vice versa.
that's
You
the only thing that's holding that belt back is its color. That's
Yeah.
the only thing.
Yeah.
Which is, it's a shame, but they did that to themselves.
If you want to make a big gold belt with a big ass W in front of you, like whatever, just
Yeah.
you gotta get rid of that red belt,
You
and
really
then
do
you
that,
don't
right.
have to. The champion, you can't hold the champion hostage anymore.
Exactly.
Like whoever's got that belt. So Seth can't come to.
You can't come to SmackDown, no. Which, it's gonna be rough for them. Break them up in real life. But actually, I could see Brock going first overall. Brock to SmackDown, I could see it just because it's Brock.
It still hurts.
Yeah,
I
just because it's Brock Lesnar.
don't want to see it anymore.
And he's your WWE
No, he's not.
champion.
No, he's not.
He's
He's not my
your
champion.
WWE champion.
I'm keeping my Kofi belt, my plates on the side.
Somebody has to. Somebody got to leave those plates on somewhere.
Oh no, not. It's still. But I think Becky go. Where does Roman get the consideration? It seems like they're moving him further down the card.
Well, I think that's good. I think that they're doing that right now because, like I said earlier, they pushed him way too hard at the beginning.
Yeah.
Move him away from the picture, and then let's say around Royal Rumble time, actually, probably be a good time to bring him back up the card. Maybe have him miss out on it because I don't know how many times you can keep putting off Daniel Bryan's Royal Rumble win. I don't know how many times you can keep putting that off. It's got to be this year, I imagine. It's got to be. I can't think of anybody right now. Maybe later on down the line we'll find somebody to get a little bit more momentum. But if I had to pick my Royal Rumble pick now, it'd be Daniel Bryan. But yeah, I can see why they're moving Roman away from the top. I think if they put him back on Raw, which again can't really see happening, you gotta have somebody take the belt off Brock. And there's only really, at the time, I think 2 credible people that could do it. One is Roman Reigns.
Seth.
Well, Seth could do it, but
He's already.
they're not going to make him do it again. He's already beat him twice for it. So the only other credible person I think could have done it that they would never do in a million years would have been The Fiend.
Yeah.
Just come out and just man will call that bitch.
Yep.
It's just like, oh, you like squash matches? get him right there, knock him out real quick. That would have been world shattering.
Yep.
But they would never do that. So Roman Reigns has got to be the dude to take it off him now,
Mm-hmm.
and then continue off whatever feud you have there. So I mean, the top 3 stars, Becky, Brock, Roman, are going to be on SmackDown. I can feel that.
Yeah.
On Raw, you just keep Seth as your top star, even though you're about to have him booed out of the arena almost every time for the next couple months.
Does the Fiend get drafted? Or is the Fiend above? Like, do you actually draft him?
Exactly. Do you draft the Fiend? I don't know. Do the execs at Fox and USA, do they know he's got superpowers?
I feel like they would want him. I feel like if you've been kind of watching, I don't know, I'm not an exec and I don't know what execs think.
I don't even know what that means.
But
That's what they say on the show. The executives are taking a close look. They're really scouting who they want.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Shut up. No, they don't.
I feel like if you're somebody that's watching the ratings and you're listening to what we're talking about, I know y'all are watching this.
So yeah, Fox execs, I know you're watching this.
If you're listening to us, Bray the Fiend has been the best thing going. You don't let that go to USA,
No,
do you?
and vice versa. He's already been shown mostly on USA.
Yeah.
So because they had to have seen or heard the reaction that the Fiend got just from that 2-minute skit he did on SmackDown, Friday Night SmackDown this past week, where he just choked out Seth Rollins on stage.
Yep.
They had to have heard the reaction.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way around it. So it just depends on, and now like WWE's probably got to say something because they screwed it up so bad. If they just let one of these brands draft him right away, doesn't that take? I feel like that kind of takes away a little bit of the aura from this guy. Like you said, is above this draft.
Yeah.
He's above your brand. He didn't need the belt. That's why he didn't need to go in there in the first place. I don't need any of this. Is what the Fiend's character kind of screams to me.
Mm-hmm.
He's above all this. Once he runs through everybody on the roster, then it'd be like, well, this dude has a belt, and you're next to get run through. That's essentially how I think he should be booked.
Yeah.
But I can see him staying on Raw for right now, just because, again, it's more SmackDown's going more sports oriented,
Yeah.
and the Fiend is definitely a sports entertainment star. That's kind of how I'm looking, or I'm seeing Raw become more of the storyline centric, and SmackDown being more of the, like you said, just good match.
It wasn't as many promos other than to open the show for SmackDown.
Well, they had to,
26.
okay, yeah, they had to fit a lot in there, so they had a lot they had to pack into a 2-hour show.
Yeah.
So you couldn't really take it up with promo time, except The Rock. You can't not give
Yeah, you gotta give The Rock
Yeah,
that.
you gotta give him his promo time.
I thought the Usos didn't come back, so the Usos will probably
They'll probably show up, yeah.
Naomi.
Yeah, I heard too.
Outside of the horsewomen, like who goes? Alexa, and
And Nikki.
yeah.
Outside of the horsewomen, I'm thinking Ember Moon needs to get something. She needs something.
She needs something.
She needs something. And I'm not opposed to sending Ember across to NXT.
Send her back.
Send her back.
Yeah.
She was a dominant contender. She wasn't a huge dominant champion, but that's because Shayna Baszler was in the weight.
Yeah.
And I think that would be because there's not really anybody.
Good.
Yeah, I can't really see. There's nobody right now I can see except for maybe Io Shirai set up to take the belt from Shayna, but they're not going to do a heel versus heel thing. So
that'd be. Oh man, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, you got to send Ember.
Oscar and.
I think they're going to set up. I don't think that would be
Ember
going.
I went to Oscar
if you could
versus
do Oscar versus Shayna, you
man.
have to do that in NXT though. You can't bring that up to the main roster because you've taken all the. It's like when Finn Balor showed back up in NXT.
Yeah.
We've taken all the shine off of Finn in the main roster. But when he came back down, the roof exploded.
Yep.
That's how it's got to be for Asuka. Because if you bring Shayna up or across, whatever they want to call it at this point, Shayna's just going to be. She'll be a dominant looking champion going in against Asuka, who she got jobbed out to fucking James Ellsworth, bro.
Yep.
how are we supposed to feel about that? You know, so. But I think
they just
won
Kabuki Warriors are the
all the tag team champions, yeah. But also Shayna's is going to come up as a heel. You can't bring her up as a face.
Mm-hmm.
And Asuka is now spitting green mist. She's now a heel.
So she's Great Muta now?
She's the great Asuka now. That's what she's doing. I mean, I don't know. You know, sticking to the all foreigners a heel thing, it worked for them just because at least they're back and getting some kind of recognition. But I can see the Kabuki Warriors. And that's the thing, is like, do the women's tag team champions, do they float? No, this is going to be a brand exclusive. You're never going to see these, you're supposed to never see these people
on the other show. Ooh.
But now you have the women's tag team champions. Are they going to make new women's tag team champions? They should not.
They should not. They shouldn't.
And now I'm afraid that those might actually go away.
Dang, I didn't think about the women's tag titles.
Yeah, are those going to stick around?
They're gonna have to float.
They're going to have to float. They're going to be like, well, I mean, I know we said exclusive, but
and this would be the only belt that does it.
That's what I'm saying. Then you could be like, well, if that's the case, let's get rid of that fucking red belt. Just have the WWE Championship float, and then let's get rid of both tag team belts because it's already too thin of a division as it is.
Yep.
Bring back the World Tag Team, the
old school.
Yeah, the old school ones. Maybe not square, but you know which ones I'm talking about. The old school,
yeah.
The '90s ones. Those ones were nice.
Yeah.
Bring back those tag team belts because these big circular ones, they just don't do it for me. Big circle, green or silver, and whatever.
The blue,
yeah,
red ones. Hell, you can bring back if you're gonna keep that design, bring the black one.
Just bring the black
and bronze one back.
Yeah, I think take off the bronze. If you're gonna bring the black and turn it gold. I don't think any belt should be bronze. Like
the third place.
Yeah, it's the third one. Hey, good job. You really kind of did it. That's what I see. If
you really kind of did it.
Yeah. You want to throw some silver on there? That's fine. But yeah, and that's probably what Vince actually thinks in the tag team division anyway. Hey,
you're the bronze.
We have you guys. You guys work for us.
They I don't know how they go about doing this. You're right. It is thin in the tag teams, and then I feel like the teams that are actually legitimate tag teams, they're not pushing them.
No, because you got the Raw Tag Team Champions right now, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode.
Yeah, and neither were doing anything, but it works for them at the same time.
Yeah, congratulations, they got some airtime, but you buried your entire tag team division.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh yeah, these two guys thrown together 30 minutes before the show are just going to go ahead and run through all your established tag teams who actually have move sets. I mean, these guys busted out a new move this past week, which is kind of cool. They did like a spine buster into a zigzag.
Yeah.
That was actually pretty dope. You couldn't pin them with it, so that zigzag is trash. We'll come back. That's got to be one of our videos. Most trash finishing moves.
Yeah,
we need to do something about that.
So, for the sake of the draft,
mm-hmm.
and for the sake of time, because I did want to touch before we go.
Before we wrap it up.
I did want to touch on AEW, but for the sake of the draft, you don't think they're gonna split say the New Day? Do you think it's time? People are always talking about
it.
It's time to split them up. I personally don't think they should. I don't feel like it's time to split them up.
Yeah.
Why does a faction have to end?
Exactly. I think the New Day should be always remembered as the faction that stuck together. No matter what. Because even when DX, the Brood,
mm-hmm.
all those huge factions, everybody, Four Horsemen, everybody breaks up eventually.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it'd be unique if the New Day was the faction that said, no, we're gonna stick this out for our entire careers.
Yeah.
And even if they do end up splitting to an extent, still be like, well, I'm a New Day member. I'm just over here on Raw. I'm over here on SmackDown, and then meet back up one of the big four, big five now with the Money in the Bank.
Yep.
And then just always keep that. Plus, they've moved too much merch for Vince to be let's cut that out.
They got a new pink shirt out now.
There you go.
I'm buying it. It's happening. You will see it. You will see me wearing it. Probably.
It's in the mail. It's right now. We're gonna go get it.
Yeah.
We're picking it up.
It's happening. So I buy New Day stuff.
Yeah, I can tell.
I don't want them to split. I kind of want to, because they've made them up until this year. They treated them as if they were just a tag team, and you just rotate members of tag team.
Yeah.
This year they kind of actually started when Kofi won. They treated them as a faction.
Yeah.
I would like to see them expand that. I don't necessarily mean like add a member or anything.
Sure.
Let Xavier go win the Intercontinental title. Have Big E challenge for the world title. Like he could avenge Kofi. He's got the size.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
I mean, it'd be funny to see Xavier, but he's gonna take it at 5.
Yeah,
just
good, see if he can beat Kofi's time. That's what
No,
that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna watch this. You think you got it, fam? Check me out. That's how it's gonna help.
Come straight into the ring to an F5.
Yeah, might as well just lay down. Get this over with.
I want to see them split. I don't want to see them split up set teams.
No,
like
that's never worked out.
What's the Viking Raiders?
Viking Raiders, yeah.
Let's not just split them up for no reason.
Yeah, splitting up tag teams has never worked.
Yeah.
I mean, it works maybe. I can't even think of a time that it worked. It worked one time, I think, but not for both people. The last time I think it worked was it Shelton Benjamin?
Yeah.
Shelton Benjamin went off and did his whole almost beating Triple H. Well, he beat Triple H, almost beating him for the world title run that he did.
Yeah.
And then old bum ass Charlie Haas, poor guy. And he was really good.
He was really good.
Yeah.
He was good.
Had to go pal around with Rico for a while.
They messed that up with was it American Alpha a few years ago?
American Alpha, yeah.
Gable and
oh yeah, because Jason Jordan was Kurt Angle, which you don't mention anymore. Damn it, Kurt! You just gonna push him off to the side now, like you don't mention him in any of his Instagram posts.
No,
nothing's like I'm chilling with my family. Where's Jason?
Yeah.
All right, I thought y'all had made up. I thought we was all happy family now.
Hugging and everything. No, I don't care about that.
No, you ain't. I mean, illegitimate.
They should have made Gable the kid.
He should have been, yeah.
And that would have. Anyway, I feel like they split them up too soon.
I don't know, yeah.
They were a good tag team. They were good. They almost reminded me of like the Steiners, of how
just so like I don't want to say athletic, but like Olympian athletic, like the stuff they could do.
And the way that they worked together was great. I get it. Chad Gable now is I think he's gonna be at worst Intercontinental United States champion. That's at worst. You could build him at best as how you built Danny Bryan. You get him there, get him close, and then he just can't overcome the odds. Something happens, and then finally he breaks through. I can see that with Gable. Unfortunately, with Jason Jordan, he's probably never wrestled with Danny's.
Yeah,
but he had the look.
He did.
He had the look that he the size, the athleticism. He had it. His talking wasn't.
That's okay. That's what he had Gable for. Because I mean, when that boy pulled the straps off, when he was getting hulked up, there was nothing.
The straps off isn't his time for business.
I was hyped for it. I was like, let's do it. And then,
in the history of wrestling, the straps come down.
It's time to go. I know we was wrestling for like 7-8 minutes.
Yeah.
That wasn't real.
No.
That was warm up, baby.
That's time.
Now we doing it. Okay.
Now I'm mad for real now.
Exactly.
So I agree with that.
I don't think we have to worry this year about them splitting up anybody.
No, hopefully not.
Hopefully not. If anybody needs to get split up, it's Rude and Ziggler. That's it.
Have them lose to the Viking Raiders.
Have them lose, yeah. And then right after that, be like, oh shit, we're getting the draft, we're getting notified, and it's Robert Roode.
To SmackDown.
To SmackDown. And Dolph Ziggler's just there. It's like, what about me? Like, well, you're fired. That would be.
I want, and I'll end the draft because we can go on and on about the draft.
Yeah.
I want the Miz to go to SmackDown.
Okay.
And I get it in the same way that he's a showman, kind of like how we were speaking about James.
Sure. Yeah.
I get if Raw's aiming that way, then maybe he could stay over there. But I feel like Miz is not being treated the way Miz should be treated, and he deserves the bigger. He's a star. Miz is a star.
He is.
His name is in Hollywood already. He's got Miz and Mrs. He's done some great, granted that B movies, but
Marie, whatever.
He should be. I feel like, and his mic work is amazing. If you're gonna do some mic work,
you're gonna put eyes on the product with the promos.
Put him over there.
Yeah.
You need him in SmackDown. I don't necessarily want to see Miz on Raw.
On Raw, that makes sense. The reason they won't do that is what you actually alluded to. He's got Miz and Mrs. That's a USA show. They're not gonna move him to Fox for him to plug USA.
Yep. Good
Yeah.
point.
So
I need to think about that.
So
Dang.
he's stuck on Raw for
He's
at least
stuck on
another
Raw.
couple of years.
Yeah. Dang it! I didn't even think about Miz. I said it and then I didn't. Yeah. He's staying on Raw.
Yeah.
So before we head out, I know we went a little longer than we planned, but when you get rolling and on these topics, it's easy to go over time. But AEW, first episode. I watched some of it
Okay.
last night.
Last night was the second episode.
The second episode was last night. But what did you think? You watched the first
I
one.
watched the entirety of the first one.
What did you think of the first episode of?
I thought it was really great. I like the aesthetics of it and everything like that. I think I really don't have too much criticism of it. Biggest thing for me that was like kind of irritating was probably just the women's belt. Like, did you see how tiny that thing was?
It is small.
It is miniature. Like, I know they're trying to do like a throwback to like the old school, like old school women's belts that were really small. But like,
it could be a little.
It could be a little bit bigger, yeah. So the belt looks good on Rio because she's 90, 80 something pounds.
Yeah.
But can you imagine if Nyla Rose had won that thing and was like holding it like in the palm of her hands the entire belt? You just wouldn't. I think they just need to make it a little bit bigger, and then beef up some of the entrance themes. They're not like bangers like WWE. Maybe that does take away from the actual, theatrics of it. But Cody's entrance theme always gets me hyped.
Yeah.
So there's that. But some of the other ones.
What are they gonna do when Awesome Kong comes in there and challenges for the women's title? And it's this big. It's the size of my watch.
Exactly.
On
Awesome Kong, yeah.
It's not gonna work.
No.
It's not gonna work.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's probably my biggest critique of the show. But I think I'm such a super fan. I was so excited for AEW that I was looking at it through very, I don't know. My lenses were definitely more positive than they were of the negatives of it because I loved everything about it this past week. So I'm really looking forward to watching last night's episode. Probably watch it sometime today.
Yeah.
See what it's all about. But yeah, and then just the end. I will say that ending where John Moxley came in, took Kenny Omega to the back, and beat him up in the VIP area, which
or DDT through the glass.
DDT through the glass. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was freaking amazing. I will say, the ref staring right at him the whole time. Didn't throw the match out.
No DQ.
Yeah, no DQ.
No DQ.
Okay, but the Fiend got DQ'd. Anyway. So
that was one of my issues with AEW. Not that I wasn't mad about it, but
no. We're conditioned, as wrestling fans, anytime somebody comes in that's not in the match,
in the match,
and just starts beating. Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, okay. Well, the ref is looking right at him. He's like, hey, man, where y'all going? I was like, what do you mean? Throw that bitch out.
You're just gonna carry him out of the ring?
Yeah.
Y'all gonna go through the crowd? Oh, now you're gonna DDT. Oh, okay. Well, let's focus back over.
Yeah, watching it on the big screen, damn. Oh man, that's some bullshit, ain't it? Oh
Does
wow.
that really look like that? Oh, it's a 3 count. Oh. Yeah.
But I mean, all that perfect. I don't know. I wasn't as hyped as something. I mean, at the moment when Jake Hager came into the ring, it was like, oh shit, it's Jake Hager.
Yeah.
But looking at it right now, I'm like, it's Jake Hager. I'm not.
Unless they're about. I get it. He's in mixed martial arts
He's
now.
in Bellator now, yeah.
And he's dominant apparently.
Yeah, he's killing.
So maybe you need to build on that, and maybe WWE just didn't push him the correct way.
Maybe.
And that's where AEW is going. Because look at Cody. They didn't push Cody good at all in WWE. Now he's over there and he's amazing.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed AEW. It gave me, as I think I mentioned off the camera, that I was a big WCW fan growing up. As far as actual wrestling and the passion of wrestling, WCW to me was always better at wrestling. They didn't have the mic workers that WWE had, and then it wasn't like WWE's wrestling was bad.
Yeah.
It was like WWE had the combination. They had the mic workers and they had the wrestling, whereas WCW arguably had the better wrestling. They had the Cruiser, they had Eddie Guerrero, they had Jericho initially, they had Ray, they had Stinko Malenko. Like, they had all these good wrestlers, you know, and then a lot of those guys transitioned over to WWE, and then that was the downfall of.
Yeah, that's where they started going.
Yeah, but and the fact that it's called Dynamite is clearly Nitro.
It's pretty great, yeah.
So it just, soon as the show started, I felt like, man, it's late '90s again, and I'm watching Monday Nitro, and this is the feeling that I've been missing for years, and I feel like this is, because I thought TNA could do it for a little bit.
Yeah.
When they had a pretty solid roster. You had AJ, you had Samoa Joe,
you had Christopher Daniels, you had Beer Money with freaking James Storm and Bobby Roode, and you had the whole X division.
Yep.
That
you had Xavier was.
You didn't have Consequences Creed. Yeah, I do remember that.
And Jay Lethal.
You had Jay Lethal. Yeah.
Oh my God, you had all of that, and then, even though I don't like the fact that the old guys came and took over, you still had Main Event
Mafia. That was great. I know it was rough, and then it just became basically TNA Authority.
Yeah.
But at the time, those dudes booked to never lose.
Yeah.
And then later on, you had Aces and Eights, and then others. It became a thing. So I don't know. It was great at the time. Yeah. So that could have been the viable thing. But yes, AEW now, you're right. This feels real. Feels legit.
Feels the only issue that I have, besides the ref staring down the outside of the fence, was, and I think this is just a Fight TV thing, and we have to watch it on Fight TV.
Yes.
You know, it's like they would go to commercial break, but on Fight TV, the camera's still running.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're just watching people in the ring, they come out to the ring, the entrances, and then we're just like.
You're just standing around. If you saw, we saw it, I don't know, anybody watching on TNT would have seen the Pac versus Adam Page match where it cut to commercial as soon as Pac got to the ring, and then when they came back, they were fighting outside the ring. Adam Page was throwing him back in. Prior to him getting out of the ring, it was just Pac walking around the crowd. Just every time he'd slide back in the ring, he'd roll right back out, and he'd just slide back in the ring, roll right back out. You try to build up the crowd, get boos for everybody. They did that so much, I think they forgot to ring the bell. Because I was watching that, I was like, there was no bell rung. But then the commentators came back on like this had been going on the entire commercial break. It hadn't. They messed something up.
Yeah.
And I was like,
so watching it on Fight TV kind of, I don't want to say it ruins it, but it's like.
It doesn't ruin it, it's just like, it peels back some of the, I guess it gives you the I'm there in the audience kind of feel.
It does give you that.
So that's a decent thing, but also they just don't have any commercials on Fight TV. That wasn't intentional, they just don't have any commercials to take up the time.
From what?
It's a constant live stream.
I don't want to ruin it for you because I know you haven't watched it yet, but I know last night they tried to do a little bit better at that aspect of the Fight TV because they mentioned it. And it wasn't Shivani.
Excalibur.
Yeah, Excalibur. I think he mentioned it. Fight TV while it was a commercial break.
Yeah. And
they were kind of transitioning to something else happening, and they tried to fix it, but they couldn't completely fix that issue. So that's the only thing that I had. I think that we're still used to the fluidity of NXT and how WWE operates as far as their match the pace.
They really got that production down.
Yeah, NXT I think is the best. The way that they produce mainly the takeovers.
Oh yeah.
Big match feel. Every match, big match feel.
Big match feel, yeah.
And I think that in terms of that, AEW is behind on that. And maybe it's just because it's still new and
Young,
people don't
yeah.
have that feel for each other yet, and it's happening. It's gonna come. But I think this is exactly what and for us as wrestling fans, I feel like AEW is what was needed.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna. It's 100% what is needed.
I think what should have happened and hasn't yet is this should have pushed WWE to push out a better product. Granted, the night that it's on TV is against NXT, and NXT is always good. I don't.
Yeah,
Wednesday night is now the premier night of wrestling for me. It's not Monday. Well, it used to be Monday Night War. Now it's Wednesday Night War.
Yeah,
And then SmackDown is just a bonus now.
it's true.
But I think that I was thinking that AEW coming would push WWE as a whole across the board to make their product better. Yes, now they're going to make NXT better, which I didn't think you could do.
Yeah.
It's already amazing. But why not make Raw better? Why not scrap an hour from Raw?
It's too much money to be made. It's the only reason.
Yeah.
Advertising, it's too much money to be made. I'm just used to SmackDown staying 2 hours.
Please.
That's all I got. Here's
Keep
the
it-
SmackDown staying.
Keep it 2 hours. The pace of SmackDown this past week was great.
Mm-hmm.
No, until the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
The Shane and KO match, I think, was probably the longest match.
Mm-hmm.
But even that pace was great. So I don't think they need to do anything as far as SmackDown is concerned with the time. Keep it at that pace.
Yeah.
But AEW, once they get their timing right and people start clicking, because there are some times during matches, even though I'm cool with it, the spot comes, they're in between the ropes, and the person's supposed to kick them. They're like you gonna kick me?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
And
Just start calling out the spots. Right?
yeah, just a little bit better on your pacing, and then it's gonna be good.
They'll get it. They'll get it. It's still brand new to it.
Yeah, but we'll go ahead and wrap this up, man. For this week, we went over
Yeah,
time.
we went way over time. Quick early prediction ain't nothing that we can really. It's gonna be way down the line. Who do you think gonna win this Wednesday Night War? When it's all said and done, who do you think they're gonna say came out as a winner? Obviously, WWE's not going anywhere.
No, they're not.
But we can definitely, probably definitively say, like, one of these guys is going to be, is it just going to be the person who's left standing? Dynamite probably go for a while.
Yeah, Dynamite can go. It won the first week,
Yeah.
so I don't know. This draft might change some things. Are they gonna look at how the first week went, and all right, we need to move some people here to compete against, because you got Jericho,
That's true.
you got big stars
big
on
name,
Wednesday. So are you gonna throw, say, KO to NXT? Are you gonna throw somebody that's big? Granted, I feel like NXT is fine. I don't feel like we need to.
I do too. I can see for the next couple of months, though, AEW running the table on NXT.
Yeah.
Just out of pure curiosity, for one, and then also maybe up until their first, their first pay-per-view,
Yeah.
Full Gear.
Mhm.
We'll see how that ends up, but they got real smart bookers over there
Yeah.
so far, so
Yeah.
let's see how that goes.
Keep the people that own the
Big
company
company.
away from the titles.
For a little
For a little
bit, yeah.
No Kenny Omega, no Dustin.
No, yeah.
Dustin got a shot. He's got I think, against Jericho at the
Cody.
pay-per-view. Cody.
Cody's got a shot
Yeah,
against Jericho,
Jericho.
and the Young Bucks are in the tag team tournament, so if they don't put it on,
You need.
if they don't put it on Luchasaurus, I ain't got nothing.
You need to
I'll watch it. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Here in a minute. But yeah,
Keep them up just for a little bit. Keep them away until you build everybody else up, and then you guys can get in there.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for Wednesday nights, and I think AEW can pull it out.
I think so too.
Yeah,
That's what I'm hoping for. For the betterment of everything.
yeah. So we'll try to do this weekly, or at least every other week. We'll try to keep it depending on our schedules and when
Yeah.
we can get to this. And we got to keep this going. I'm good with having the heel turn back. I've been wanting to do this for a while. It's finally good to have another buddy here that we can go back and forth on this and bring our opinions to you all. If you all want to chime in, leave some comments below. Tell us what you think. Tell us if we missed anything, whatever.
Tell us who you think is going to SmackDown and who's going to Raw. First overall pick. How do you want to see the draft done?
Leave your predictions down below. And we'll be back. And I'll be here next week.
Yeah, I should be here sometime. Sometime next week would be good for me too.
Cool.
We'll be back. We'll be back for sure.
Yeah, so we'll be back. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on.
And we'll holler at you all in the next one. Peace.